This year we're making l'refuah shalei l'schus refuah shleima of Shai Kessenbaum's mother, who's in Eretz Yisrael right now. He had to fly to Eretz Yisrael a couple of days ago. It should be a schus for her refuah shleima. Okay, so we're going to the last story in Makkos. 120 miles, mil, not a mile. What's a mil? A mil is a third of a mile?
2,000 hours, right?
1 kilometer.
Whatever it is, it's a long.
1.6, remember?
It's far away, and they heard them celebrating and like a lot of people there in the Roman square. Veschilu boichen, and they started crying when they heard all that noise coming from Times Square. Rabbi Akiva Mesachik, and Rabbi Akiva was laughing. Amru lem nemata Mesachik, why are you laughing, Rabbi Akiva? Amru lem be'atam nemata boichen, why are you crying? Amru loi halolu kishuyim. Kushiyim, Romans weren't mibnei kush, he brings in the bottom, but that was like a derogatory term to call somebody kushi.
A mil is 1 mile, by the way.
A mil is a mile.
It says right here.
Ah, yeah? Okay.
I looked up on Google what is MIL.
Almost kilometer.
1.6 kilometers.
Yeah, I think we just got. Okay, so it's a mile. Are you sure it's a mile? It's a mile. Whatever it is, it's far away. It's 120. We're crying because look at them. They're busy serving up at the Zara and they're secure. All is good, all is well in their lives. And look at our home, our Beis Hamikdash is destroyed, burnt, and we shouldn't cry. That's why I'm laughing. Hashem does this. He allows them to sit in peace, to live in peace, even though they're over Ritzonah. Certainly, last Gemara, the famous Gemara, Shuv Pam Achas, Hayoyli Yerushalayim. One time they came to Yerushalayim, they saw Har Tzayim, they saw the Beis Hamikdash, they saw the Makkam Hamikdash, the Churban, Karu Bigdayim. They tore their clothing, they tore Kriyam. Kiva Shagir Samach Larabayis, Ro Shual Sheyotzim Beis Kadsha Kadashim. They saw a fox coming out of Kodesh Kodashim, Eschilu and Boichen. They started crying. Rabbi Akiva Metzachik. Rabbi Akiva was laughing. Amr lehem, Nata Metzachik, why are you laughing? Amr lehem, Nata Boichen, why are you crying? Amr lehem, Makkam Shekasaboy. Va'azara Korev Yumas, the holiest of the holy, that space, that place. A stranger that walks in there dies. Va'achshav Shu'alam Hilchabav L'nifka. Now a fox comes out of there, and all is good, all is well, and we shouldn't cry. Amr lehem, Lekachani Metzachik. That's exactly why I am laughing. It says the nevuah of Uriah goes in conjunction with the nevuah of Zechariah. Asks Rabbi Akiva, Uriah b'mikdash Rishon. Uriah prophesied in the first Beis Hamikdash. Zechariah b'mikdash Sheni. There's a connection. What's the connection? It's going to be desolate, completely desolate, and B'Zechariah Kasiv, Oid Yesh v'Zekeinim v'Zekeinos, B'Rechoivos Yerushalayim. It's an amazing nevuah that Zechariah said in Bayis Sheni. There's going to come a time where Yerushalayim will be filled, the streets will be filled. Too high. הילדים וילדויס משחקים. Lamaisa, you have to understand, we're living, the fact that today the streets of Yerushalayim are filled with kids sitting and learning and playing in the streets. My father-in-law was able to have a house in the old city. And when I stay there, every time I wake up, I think Zilberman's school in the old city, there's a Zichru, I think it's called I hear the kids, I wake up to the sounds of the kids davening and playing. And it says in that square, by the way, in the old city, they have this nevuah engraved in stone. It's very beautiful. And it says that we're living in that time. Today, that's the time. And we shouldn't take it for granted. It wasn't always like that. Even, there's a famous letter from the Ramban, not the Igeres Ramban that we know, But the Ramban wrote a letter to his son in 1267, in the 13th century, when he came to Eretz Yisrael. Right, there's a Beis Knesset Ramban in the old city. He came to Eretz Yisrael. He writes to his son in one of the letters. He said, "I cannot find a minyan Jews. I don't have a minyan. I can't find a minyan." This is 700 years ago. Couldn't find a minyan. You know, we sing by every chasana, Od Yishama Ba'ore Yehuda v'chutzes Yerushalayim. I told somebody the other night, I went to a vart. They couldn't believe it. Do you know that if you look in Yirmiyahu, it's a nevuah of Yirmiyah. If you look in Yirmiyahu, it says, there are a couple of words that's missing. Od Yishama, and it says, I don't have the Lashon HaPasuk in front of me. It says, in this place, Me'ein Odom, Me'ein Behema, where there's no person, no Jew. Yirmiyahu Novi was mamash by Golas Bavel. Nobody is here. Oid Yishama, in the future, Ba'ara Yehudi, you'll hear, Ba'ar Kol Sasan V'Kol Simcha. We skip those words. It's like when a composer composes a song, like he chooses the words. If you look at the pasuk, it's not Oid Yishama Ba'ar Kol Simcha. There are words in between that says that there's nobody here right now, but Yishama in the future, you'll have. And you know, in 2024, the rabbinate recorded, officially, 36,000 weddings in Eretz Yisrael, Jewish weddings, in the year 2024. Yidden got married, 36. Could you imagine? The Oid Yishama is becoming, we're living in that time today, where they're averaging 100 weddings a day in Eretz Yisrael. That's the nevuah of Zechariah as well. We're mamish living, we hear the footprints of Mashiach. I'm going to end with this Mazel before we get to the last line. There's a story with Mendel of Vitebsker. The Heiliger Mendel of Vitebsker was once sitting with his Hasidim, and they were farbringing, they're having a kumzitz, singing, sharing Divrei Torah, and all of a sudden his Hasidim see, Mendel of Vitebsker gets up, walks over to the window, opens the window, sticks his head out, takes a deep breath, and he goes, no. He shakes his head, comes back and sits down. Hasidim said, Rebbe, what'd you do? What was that all about? So Mendele said that I went to the window to sniff the air, to smell if it's Avira de Geula, if I can smell Mashiach. I took a deep breath and I realized, no, he's not here yet. So one of the Hasidim said, Rebbe, you have to go to the window, open the window, take a deep breath. He said, sit right here, take a deep breath right here. And the Rebbe said, no, you don't understand. Here, there's Avira de Mashiach. Does Yoda Avira de Mashiach. I had to go to the window to open it up. Now there's a big machlikas between Hasidim whether he closed the window afterwards or not. Chabad say that he left the window open, so the ear of Mashiach of inside permeates the entire world. We do it through the lens right here. That we share with the world the Avira de Mashiach, that we're zeicha to come in every single night and learn Torah. It's a tremendous privilege, We cannot take it for granted. It fills our lives with meaning, and we all have tremendous chusim just by being here and opening a Gemara every single night, that we try as much as we can. And I owe a tremendous debt of gratitude to each of you for coming every night, because you hold me accountable. So I value our chabura here, and I'm tremendously grateful to each of you. I'm going to finish with the last lines of the nevuah of Uriah and the nevuah of Zechariah, and I'm going to ask, if I may, if you give me rishus, my son Shmuli, to say the Hadron, because there's a Mesiras Nefesh on his part. There's a Clippers game tonight, and there are many games that he missed, that he's a big Clippers fan, and he said, I'm coming to the daf anyway. Sometimes it was like overtime, and it's like, Shmuli, you're coming? He's like, I'm coming. And so I want to honor his Mesiras Nefesh. He comes every night. And so, very big.
At your age.
Very big, 13 years old. And he's finishing Masechet Makkos with us. So I'm going to say the last lines, and he's going to make the Hadron, and maybe, Doctor, I'm going to ask you to say the Kaddish if it's okay. Achel l'neskaim nevuasa shel Uriah, says the Gemara, is misyorish l'neskaim nevuasa shel Zechariah. Achshav sheneskaim nevuasa shel Uriah, biyadua shenevuasa shel Zechariah miskayemes. Now that I see that there's a shu'olim are coming out of the Harabayas, we know for sure, bebriris, bevados, that the nevuah of Zechariah will be fulfilled. Beloshn hazeh amrulai, and they answered him beloshn hazeh. Very unique lashon of the Gemara. Akiva nechamtanu, hadron ach eina aloikem v'salik lo Masechet Makkos, hadron alach elo eina aloikem v'salik Masechet Makkos, hadron ach elo aloikem v'salik lo Masechet Makkos. Okay, go ahead.
Hadron Allah Meseches Makkos v'Hadron Cholon. Daita Allah Meseches Makkos v'Daita Cholon. La Nisnashe Minach Meseches Makkos v'La Nisnashe Minach. La Ba'alma Hadain v'La Ba'alma Hida'ase. Yirtzam of Nachan V'La V'Zena Shetei Sarascha Umana Husseinu Ba'ala Mazel Usehi Manu Ba'ala Maba Chanina Bar Papa Rami Bar Papa Nachman Bar Papa Achai Bar Papa Abba Mari Bar Papa Rafram Bar Papa Rachash Bar Papa Surcha Bar Papa Ada Bar Papa Daru Bar Papa Harana Melenu as the Bracer as Chabifino Dias Am Chabis Shro Anachnu V'Tetzeinu Am Chabis Shro Koloni Yedish Mecha V'Lam Dizar as Chalishma Me'ayve Techak Meni V'Tesecha Kilo Elam Yihili Bis Amen B'Chukacha L'Malin Ulay Eivash L'Olam Lai Eshkach B'Kudecha Kivan Chisani Barakatan Amdini Chukacha Amen Salav Maydem Anachnu V'Necha Nalin V'Avazino Shesanta Chalkinim Yesh V'Zamit Midrash Lai Shesanta Chalkinim Yesh Karnais Sha'anu Mashkimim V'Hem Mashkimim Anu Mashkimim L'Diver Sarah V'Hem Mashkimim L'Dvarim V'Tilim Anu Amelim V'Hem Amelim Anu Amelim Kablim Sachar V'Hem Amelim V'Enam Kablim Sachar Anuratim V'Hem Ratim Anuratim L'Chaya Olam Haba V'Hem Ratim L'Ve'er Shachas Shenemar V'Ata Elohim Taridem L'Ve'er Shachas Anshe Damim Umirma L'Loi Yechatzu Yimehem Vani Atachbach Yertam of Nacha Nedin Okashim Shaz Azartani Messiah Meseches Makkos King Kazrini Lahaskal Mesechtes Isparim Achirim Osayid Mab Lelamite Ulami Lishmar Lases Okaimes Kultivary Samadar Sachababa Uskos Kotanaim Ba'amaram Samide Chachamen Yamai Li Ozari Shalai Samash Ater Mipi Zari Vizara Zari Ad Ilam Bisis Kayim Bi Bihis Lecha Tanche Isach Bishapacha Tishmar Lecha Bahaki Taisa Hit Tishichecha Kivi Yerbu Yamecha V'Yasifu Lecha Shinais Chaim Irech Yamim Bimina Bishmaila Iser V'Kavod at night Islamite in Nayrech Samai Bashalam.
Amen.
Asova Pochona, Ishmael Asrei, Yamet Kutshabiku Marakusei, Koredits, Yatsma, Pretend Mishikay.
Amen.
Mechon Chakov Israel, Magalos, Makrim Rameh.
Amen. Yeshmer Abba Murach, Olam Rabbi Mayo Yisburach.
Shabbat, for his ones I say, this had no, this is a loss, make it sharp,
Richo.
we come in cold, we are first Shrosa. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Mazel tov, Mazel tov. Shkoya. Simen tov, Mazel tov, Mazel tov, Simen tov. Simen tov, Mazel tov, Mazel tov, Simen tov. Hey, Simen tov, Mazel tov, Mazel tov, Simen tov. Simen tov, Mazel tov, Mazel tov, Simen The chant is getting